Welcome to the Infinite Meme Machine podcast, your source for Destiny hot takes and shit opinions. My name is Joseph, and with me is my co-host.
Hi, I am Jan, or Matt is my other name. Hi, what's up? Hi.
Yeah. And before we get too far into it, I would just like to tell you that ask you if you are enjoying your time with us at all, which I know is probably unlikely, to please tell your friends and clanmates or whoever the fuck you think would be interested in listening to us two idiots talk about Destiny for probably way too long. Word of mouth is huge for podcasts like us, to be completely honest. And one day we want to grow up to be a big and strong podcast. So yeah, help us out if you're having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's big. Joe, Beyond Light happened, and now Season of the Hunt happened, but there were issues. But we'll talk about that in a minute. What have you been doing in Destiny?
Grinding till my dick falls off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And how's that been going for you?
Could be better. Honestly, I could be grinding more. After the first week, I kind of took it a little bit slower because I realized I could.
Yeah.
So really, I just kind of lied to everybody. But you know, whatever.
That's fair. What's your highest light right now?
So I am 1232
With or without artifact?
without. And that's with, I still have pretty much every single drop on my secondary character this week and every drop on my primary character this week.
Okay.
So I can probably clear 1240 easy, which is pretty much where I want to get to. I just want to get to 1240 so that way if my team is unable to get day one, then we can immediately hop in once contest is over and just destroy the rest of the raid.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
I am on my my final character at this point, which is my raid character. But my second character finished at 1249 with
Nice.
3 light across various pieces before it hits 1250.
Can you
So
believe we're 2 days away?
I know, dude. I'm so excited. I think both of our teams are in great shape for it, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be some good shit.
Oh yeah.
How much of the Season of the Hunt stuff have you been doing so far?
I've been doing a ton of Wrathborn hunts
Yeah,
because they're powerful drops or on level drops. So you can basically guarantee drops in slots you need, which has been huge. That's what helped my Titan a lot. Get to that 1249 was getting to my max cap I could with blues, and then filling slots in with the Wrathborn hunts, and also the guaranteed armor drops from doing the 8 bounty challenges from Shax, Zavala, and Drifter.
yeah. Getting access to 4 more powerfuls this week plus a pinnacle,
Yeah.
is absolutely massive for people's leveling. Like
Yeah.
it was already pretty easy to get high enough for the raid, but this week it just getting 5 extra drops out of nowhere is really, really nice.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is probably the most leveled our teams are going into this raid at. Like, yeah, I think we're in a solid place. Like even now, like
Yeah, for
if we
sure.
dropped into the raid right now, I have enough power to do it to be above 1230 on all my characters.
Oh yeah. One thing? Can we all agree that it's time for everyone to get together and just shoot Spider in the head?
Oh yeah, he's a dick.
I did not I did not expect to already want to protect Crow as much as possible. But I want to fucking shoot Spider in the head. I want to shoot Spider in the head, and I want to bring Crow back to the safety of the tower and shoot anyone who wants to hurt him.
I saw a spectacular
is my
meme
one
earlier of the Crow versus Aldrin, and for Aldrin it was the Gordon Ramsay saying "you fucking donkey," and for the Crow it was the oh dear gorgeous. of him comforting the kid. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's so true. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, Crow,
no,
you poor
absolutely.
soul. I want to do everything I can to help you.
Like Crow is great. I love Glint. I adore his ghost.
Yep.
I am
Old
still
pork, now known as Glint.
yeah. I'll admit I was pretty attached to the pulled pork name. But given the way they handled it, and like especially if you've gone and read the lore post that Bungie put out, the one with the naming thing, because Bungie put out 3 lore posts in the last week. If you haven't read them, you really, really should, because they are fucking tremendous. 2 drink minimum takes place like after the introductory mission, essentially. But like you don't have to play the introductory mission first. It doesn't really spoil anything that we haven't already seen in trailers. But it's like this cool back and forth between Crow and Glint, plus like some of... I don't want to spoil it. You should go read it. It's really, really cool. But I love them both. And I will be very, very sad when the season ends and we probably don't see them again for a while.
I mean, I don't know. I think seasons are going to be a little bit different this year. They've said things are sticking around all year. So we're going to have Wrathborn hunts until Witch Queen.
Yeah.
Which will be awesome, because these are such good... I love this. It's like, I can guarantee I'm getting... Like, sure, you don't have a choice of all of them, because you can only pick from 4 different things. But that's huge. Plus, you can get, like, different drops, like the Leviathan Breath Catalyst progress, or... recon data for Crow, or more mods for the lore.
Yeah,
that's lore with an L. That's LURE.
The 3 of the 4 weapons that are tied to the Wrathborn hunts are like actually good. The scout rifle, no one cares about because it's a scout rifle. But the SMG is really good.
Yeah.
It's probably the best SMG we've had in games since... excluding the one obvious choice. It's probably the best legendary SMG we've had in games since, like, Antiope, I think.
Oh, that good, huh?
I think so.
I haven't played with it too much.
It gets some really disgusting rolls. And just like Antiope could, it's able to kick its range out really, really far. And if I remember correctly, it also gets Wellspring, which is I have
a roll sitting in my vault, or sitting on a character right now that I like, with corkscrew rifling, drop mag, threat detector, and Wellspring with a range masterwork.
Yeah,
I like threat detector on SMGs.
Wellspring... I have fallen in love with this perk. I want it on everything, essentially.
And for our listeners who might not know, Wellspring, kills with this weapon generate ability energy. This energy is divided between your uncharged abilities. And so, yes, it's basically Grenadier, but everything.
Yep. Another gun from there that gets Wellspring is Deafening Whisper, which I don't know if I've had a chance to talk about it on the podcast, but probably my favorite... weapon type in the game are wave frame grenade launchers.
Yeah.
And we have finally gotten a second one. This time it is void flavored. Is named Deafening Whisper, and I fucking love it.
I got one with surplus and Wellspring.
Oh, that's almost perfect, because you know what it gets? It gets Ambitious Assassin.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I think that might be the play. I might have to go for one of those.
Yeah, I got one. The first one I ever got was Ambitious Assassin and Autoloading, which may not sound like the best roll, and it's not. I think Ambitious Wellspring is better. But I don't know. I have fallen in love with autoloading on guns, so I'm keeping it just because it's really nice to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want Wellspring on everything. It also gets Rampage if that's your fancy.
I mean,
which
it's
is
a good
pretty
perk.
nice. Yeah.
You know what my new favorite gun is? Thermal Erosion. That's the Europa MG, right?
Yeah.
The bullet hose 900s are the best. This thing melts. It's got Killing Wind and Demolitionist.
Ooh.
This gun fucks and doesn't stop fucking. Like, it is so good.
Something I have realized. So, like, I knew Killing Wind was a good perk. But I had kind of written it off a little bit as a primarily PvP perk.
Yeah.
Since getting it on some guns this season during the leveling process, because like the leveling process this season, with it being so much longer, it forces you to use a lot of different guns that you wouldn't otherwise use, right?
Yeah.
So I've spent a lot of time with Killing Wind weapons, and Killing Wind fucks. Like Friction Fire, the SMG that we were talking about, can get Killing Wind on it, and Killing Wind, and well, it doesn't matter what you have in the last slot because you can get like Rampage or Wellspring or whatever you want.
Yeah.
The range boost that Killing Wind gets, plus the fact that you can already roid out this thing's range, it's disgusting.
And fun fact about, we're still talking about thermal erosion, right?
Yeah.
It has a recoil direction of 50, which means it kicks far to the left. Lucky for you, though, Counterbalance Stock gives it plus 15, which puts it squarely at 65 recoil direction, which means it goes straight up and down.
Straight up.
This thing can be a laser.
Nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, there may not be a ton of weapons this season, but they're all really, really good. And the one other one that I hate when I do this. So I'm grinding for a Corsair's Wrath, which I shouldn't because it's a linear fusion rifle, and linear fusion rifles kind of suck.
Yeah.
But if they ever get buffed, they'll be really good. And Corsair's Wrath gets high impact reserves. And some people out there may be like, yeah, but that's like a shit perk, right? No. High impact reserves fucks. It is one of the best damage boosting perks that you can have in solo play. It is so fucking good. Over the course of an entire magazine, it beats it, like it's essentially twice what Vorpal does for bosses, and it does it for everything. So high impact reserves is really, really good. So I'm gonna have one, and it's probably gonna sit in my vault until it gets sunset and never get used, because linear fusion rifles are never gonna get buffed. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I fucking hate myself. Have you been graced with a good Xena class yet?
What's a good one?
Dual loader and trench barrel.
No, but I do have my choice of Slide Shot 1-2 Punch or Genesis 1-2 Punch.
Nice.
Or Lead from Gold Unrelenting.
So I've played with it a little bit.
Or auto-loading Thresh.
See, those are all really good. But dual loader, like, capital F fucks. Yeah. So if you are running anything to boost your reload speed at all, you don't feel the minus 50 reload speed from dual loader.
Oh, yeah?
So you're essentially loading all 6 shots in the same time it would have taken you to load 3. And I don't think I have to tell anybody why that's really good. Plus the fact that trench barrel's bugged right now, it just makes this gun fuck really hard.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, trench barrel, we're assuming it's bugged because Bungie didn't tell us about it. But right now, on any gun that gets trench barrel, when you do the melee, it gives you trench barrel times 2 for 5 seconds. And then you fire 3 shots, and one of those charges goes away. Mm-hmm. And then you fire 3 more, and then the last one goes away. But it works in an odd way. So when you have times 2, it does the normal 50% damage boost. But after you fire those first 3 shots, it drops to 25. So something with it is really fucky.
Well, as fun as theory crafting weapons is, we got to get rolling because there is a hotfix and a TWAB to cover.
Yes. Stasis is dead, Crabrave?
I mean, I don't know if dead is the word.
No, that's definitely not the right word. Stasis is still really good.
Just a quick, we'll focus on this, but a couple quick things they changed with the hotfix, which props to Bungie. They got this out quick.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
They fixed the issues with the fusion rifle that was getting more ammo than it was supposed to. They also fixed Witherhoard already, so you can use that again. They fixed the pinnacle issue where most of the pinnacles weren't dropping pinnacles. They fixed the repeatable bounties. They fixed the Exodus crash. But they also already made adjustments to Warlock Stasis.
Yes. So the one big general stasis change they made in the hotfix, they label it specifically for Shadebinders, but they fixed it for everybody. Mm-hmm. The boss nuke exploit that people became aware of in the last week is now removed from the game. Thank God. Yes. So now we don't have to worry about that for day one. And then another general change is they reduced the amount of damage that you take when you break out of a freeze in a stasis freeze. It is reduced down to 90 from 110, and they have increased the impact that resilience has on damage taken even further, which I don't know if anyone's played with it yet, but it was already really, really significant, and the fact that they've now made that even stronger, well, it makes resilience good, potentially. I haven't tested it with the new changes, so like I'm not sure how much better it is, but I mean,
resilience is a top tier perk now.
It might be. It was already kind of trending that way because of how much impact it had on that damage you took when you broke out.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It is worth noting the benefit you get caps out at tier 9. But I don't know. I mean, the problem with running high resilience for breaking out of freeze, most likely if you get frozen, you're probably still dead.
Well,
even with the changes they've made to some of the freezes, which we'll touch on in a little bit.
All of them. Every way that they can freeze has been reduced. So they reduced the freeze time from 4.75 seconds down to 1.35 seconds. So at least for all the warlocks, I believe.
Well, it's not just warlocks. So they reduced it for Penumbral Blast, which they did some other things too. So we'll go through these. They for Penumbral Blast. So these are the warlock specific changes. So they've reduced the projectile speed for Penumbral Blast. Jeez, I cannot say it. For Penumbral Blast, which is the warlock melee. So they reduced that projectile speed by 20%. They also reduced its range from 28 to 16 meters, which I have seen a lot of people complaining about, but I think Warlock mains can shut their fucking mouths and take the nerf that they deserve.
Here's the thing. You were just getting another, the top tree Dawnblade melee. Melee should not have infinite range.
No.
That's why they're melees.
Yeah.
If you want to freeze things far away, throw a grenade.
16 meters is still really long.
Yeah.
And then Winter's Wrath, so the super, has had its duration reduced from 30 to 24 seconds, but it has had the cost of its light attack reduced as well from 5% to 4.5%. So that reduces the impact of that duration change a little bit. And one of the big things, the heavy attack no longer affects players who aren't fully frozen.
Which is cool.
Yeah. And then for the grenade changes and freeze duration changes, Cold Snap Seekers have had the speed reduced by 23%, which is nice. And one thing, with the heavy attack change, that heavy attack change on Winter's Wrath is a PvP only change.
Yeah.
So Winter's Wrath is unchanged in PvE content. And speaking of PvP only changes, the freeze change that you had mentioned from 4.5 to
4.75 down to 1.35.
Yeah. That change is a PvP specific change for Cold Snap Grenades, Ice Flare Bolts, and Penumbral Blast. Okay. Which is really great. I mean, this is the kind of balancing that people have wanted to see Bungie do more and more. for like slight separation of how things work in PvE versus PvP. This doesn't change everything. I believe I can't remember what it's called, but the snowfield grenade, I believe, can freeze you if you stay in it long enough. And that freeze duration is unchanged, but I mean,
the odds of you being in a position of it where you could get frozen in that means that you're out of position, or they absolutely nailed their grenade throw. In either case, they deserve the kill.
Yeah, and honestly, you're going to die before you get frozen in that thing anyway, because the slow is just going to result in you not being able to move, and then you're going to get fucking shot in the face.
But yeah, if you want to read more about there's a couple other fixes they made, and if you want to read them, you can head to the link in our show notes. How about the TWAB? I'm ready for this raid.
Oh my god.
Can we save the raid stuff?
Yes.
Cool. Hey, they're doing a little baby tiny step about making cheating less terrible.
Yeah, fuck cheaters.
Damn straight. Really, really out there hot take you got, Joe.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, they're gonna make sure that if you are a free to play account, if you want to play, what's the term they use?
High stakes PvP modes.
They use a different term through here. I believe it is secure activities or something like that. Protected activities. You have to verify your account with a phone number attached to your Bungie account.
Yep.
And so they'll send you a text message and verify you.
Honestly, a change like this has been a long time coming. I'm glad they're finally doing it. It's only impacting free-to-play accounts, which I'm not sure if I completely agree with. We definitely do see non-free-to-play cheaters.
Yeah, but those are a lot more rare. Like there's a reason that cheating saw a huge uptick as soon as the game went free-to-play. I still think trials and stuff should be behind the seasonal paywall. But I mean, this is a step, I guess.
Yeah, well, one thing that's worth noting is, like, I may be talking out of my ass here, but wouldn't Bungie be able to essentially ban certain numbers if they within a certain time period if they get banned multiple times on accounts through this? Yeah, I don't know. But honestly, just like additional deterrents at all make a huge difference for preventing cheaters, like even small ones.
Yeah.
Like this isn't gonna fix the problem by any means, but it's all just about small steps to make it better and better. So we'll see. Obviously, there's still gonna be a lot. You can never stop cheaters. You can never stay ahead of them.
Nope.
It's just
cheaters
gonna
cheat
to mitigate the damage. Specifically, so there are only certain modes that when this rolls out, which they didn't give us a specific date when they're going to roll this out. But it's only at the start. It's only going to impact Trials, Iron Banner, and the comp playlist.
Yeah.
But they did note that they may extend it to other activities in the future. They're not really sure yet. It just kind of depends.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Once the feature goes live, free-to-play players will get an in-game notification with a link to begin verification. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's launched soon. The other really cool thing that Bungie is doing, speaking of quick fixes, they're changing the loot pool.
Yes, they are.
So on the 24th, there will be a hotfix that goes live that will remove some weapons, which is a little bit contentious, but will add a bunch more. So
yeah, we were looking through and we determined some of the guns that are probably going to be leaving the loot pool are old-fashioned, Hawthorne's Field Forge shotgun. I believe there was something. There's Last Hope.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are a few others, but it's
Alatha
a pretty
FR4.
small list. Yeah. It's a pretty small list. It's guns that have been in the loot pool for quite a while.
I mean, stop. They're guns that were they're world drop guns from Season of Dawn. So
Yeah.
those are the ones going away, which isn't a whole lot, but they're making up for it at least a little bit.
Yep. So they're going to add back in all the 7th Seraph weapons, which is nice.
Yeah.
And they're also going to add back in all of the weapons that were added in Season 11, so last season, as well as the reprised weapons, the planetary reprised weapons that we saw. So that'll include, like, First In, Last Out. That should include all the Ikelos weapons.
Thank God.
Was it Behringer's Memory, the
Yep.
GL, I think.
Yep. I have
so
so many of
that's
those
pretty
sitting in my
nice.
vault, waiting to see which rolls I'm going to use.
Yeah.
Even though I'm probably never going to take off Anarchy throughout this raid race.
Well, maybe Witherhoard now that it's fixed.
Yeah.
And we can actually use it.
So, yeah,
but
I
I mean-
think it's a good change. Like, I think we're getting more added to the loot pool than we are removed.
True. It's a step in the right direction. There are still some things that I think they have to really take some serious time to think about. The fact that we're spending so much time on the Tangled Shore and in the Dreaming City, and the loot from those locations isn't relevant to anything.
Yeah.
And the fact that Shadowkeep and Forsaken are still purchasable content and none of their stuff matters is a thing that a lot of people have been talking about. I'm not sure that matters as much as the first part, at least to me. Like, I feel like if we're spending a lot of time in those locations, you're encouraged to do other things in those locations too. But if those other things don't give you any shit that actually helps you, that's just kind of like, it feels bad.
Yeah.
But Bungie did say that they're still thinking about more long-term changes. I don't think anyone should get their hopes up about sunsetting going away. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're not ready to talk about any potential changes, any potential long-term changes yet that'll impact future seasons. They'll talk about it once they have an idea. So I guess we'll have to wait and see with that. And the one other thing to note with the weapons that they're adding back in is they are actually adding a weighting system. So the drop rate will be increased for newer weapons.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But also screw you if you're trying to farm for a weapon from a season or two ago.
Yeah.
I don't think
Honestly,
that part was necessary.
I mean, maybe, but I also, I kind of prefer, I don't know, maybe this is just the dumb perspective of someone who plays this game way too much. I want to get the new stuff more than I want to get the old stuff.
I mean, that's fair, I guess. Before we get into the raid stuff, there is a huge list of known issues. I just wanted to call out a couple that I think are fun that I've noticed. They know about the issue of the sparrows not despawning on Europa.
Don't fix it.
I mean, I'm sure it'll
Don't
cause
fix it.
issues on some things.
Don't fix it. Leave it.
Here's an interesting one. I actually ran into this while I was playing this Warden of Nothing strike right before we recorded. The lift tubes on Warden of Nothing fully draining super energy. I actually encountered
I had that happen to me. I had that happen last night, actually, and I had no idea what the fuck happened.
Yeah. What else was there on here? The holograms on two bonds. The Stella Incognita bond and the bond of Last Departure ornament bounce aggressively. I noticed when I first flew into Europa on my Warlock, I noticed it. Yes. If you grab those bonds and put them on, the holograms are just bouncing around. It's really funny.
So you're telling me they gave them jiggle physics?
Yes. Player heads
Nice.
may not render when inspecting people in the tower. I've seen plenty of that. New
That's
advent.
the bug where you load in is just hair, right?
Yeah. Reaching 1200 may result in new adventure pop up, even though they're not a thing in the game anymore.
Oh my god, that was fucking annoying.
Yeah. apparently, if you acquired the seasonal artifact before doing the New Light campaign, it's causing issues. Like, I guess that the story's not progressing correctly. It's weird.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so other than that, yeah, go in there. You can go to the TWAB for the full list of known issues they have.
Is the whole thing
we are currently investigating an issue causing players who acquired the seasonal artifact before completing the full New Light Tower introduction to be blocked from progressing in the Season of the Hunt story and missions. New Light players should complete the full tower. So, wait, have we not gotten a mission since we did the first one?
No.
I didn't think so.
But I don't know if there are more. Yeah, I don't think
I didn't think so, because that's all I've done. Well, it's almost time for the raid, Joe.
I'm kind of losing my mind.
Well, yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. We don't really know. We still don't know much. Well, we do know plenty about the raid actually because of out of bounds and data mining.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be interesting. You and I have two very different approaches to how we're going into day one.
I'm reluctantly gobbling up all the information. I'd love to go in blind, but I legitimately want to go for a world's first attempt, which means I need to know everything that all the other world's first teams know.
Yep, and I am completely blind.
Yep, you just want the day one.
It's going to be interesting. I imagine we are going to have a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah. So obviously, so it comes out Saturday. I believe it's 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Contest mode will be on, so it'll cap you at 20 power below each of the encounters. No artifact power. So your goal is 1230, which means that the final encounter is 1250. And you can compete for a chance at they don't want us to call it a belt, the world's first title.
It's a belt.
But and you'll also get your day one emblem, and if you do it in before December 1st, you'll get a code to buy the parka. They are going to take a little. It's not going to be a thing of like the world's first team finishes and then Bungie tweets. They said not to expect a tweet about the world's first verification until the following Monday, while they analyzed the run and make sure that it was clean without cheating.
Yeah, this is the first time they've ever had to do this.
Yep, and I'm glad they are, because we want to make sure that whoever does it did it legitimately.
And I mean, hell, people still give redeem shit for doing the coil glitch for Prestige Levy.
I think it's time to get over that.
Yeah,
it was an exploit that was in the game. Like, if you weren't doing that, you weren't going to win. Like, that's just the reality of it. If they didn't do it, someone else would have used it to win the race.
Yeah, I think I saw a list recently of where people were talking about the times.
Yeah.
For World's First for all the raids, and they put a fucking asterisk on Prestige Levy.
Huh.
Because of the coil glitch.
Well, maybe make your game good.
I used to be mad at them, and then I stopped being a bitch boy.
That's the correct attitude.
Yeah.
And I bet they're even saltier because they just released a world's first or a raid race trailer, which didn't actually really show anything about the raid, but rather, what raid day is like with all the streamers and stuff like that. And there's a lot of redeem in there. Sweat Sickle showed up like 3 times. I think Glad showed up 2 or 3 times.
I mean, they've won more of them than anyone else at this point.
Honestly, if I can't have World's First, I want Dado to have it.
Me too.
He needs one.
Oh. He puts 2402 on his merch now.
He's smart. Like, I would have done the same thing. It's such a brandable thing.
Oh, it feels so bad.
Yeah. The parka looks cool. I don't know if I'm going to get it, though. I'm not a parka guy.
Just because I'll never use it. Yeah.
I want a raid hoodie.
Yes. But, like, I want a zip-up hoodie, and I think you want, what, like a full normal hoodie?
I love pullover hoodies. They're where it's at.
Yeah.
And I guess the official name
I
is
don't
still
know.
Deep
I
Stone
might
Crypt.
cave and get it anyway, just to.
I don't want to spend the money.
I may want to keep my collection going. Got the last
that's fair.
two. It is a lot of money to spend though.
Yeah.
For anyone who's never looked at them, they're like $175 without shipping.
Yep. Yeah, and this one might be more expensive because it's a full
No,
parka.
I think they said it'll be the same.
Oh, well, that works.
Yeah, maybe I'm crazy.
Dude, I'm so excited for this raid. I'm ready.
Yeah, I am very.
I just want to do a little more leveling so that, like you said, as soon as contest goes away, we can blitz through it.
Are you streaming Yell's Attempt?
Yep. I'll be streaming
Hell yeah.
twitch.tv/JanJinkle. And yeah, we'll be streaming. We're all. I made sure that everyone was cool with. We might be running for up to 24 hours. Like, be ready. And even if we beat it quickly, we're going back in again to get other people through it.
Yeah, that's where we're at. Like we even though we're not going for world's first, everybody on the team is like fully committed to going for the full 24 hours if we have to. As soon as I actually first thing tomorrow morning, I'm actually ordering a bunch of groceries to have it sent to me, and I'm getting I'm probably getting like 2 boxes of monsters just to have in the fridge that I have in my room, just so that way I can probably drink way too many of them.
Yeah, I need to go.
So
I'm going to
I
be
can
going
stay
grocery
awake.
shopping tomorrow to get all my stuff. Get a big jug of water. Here's a raid challenge for everybody, and I'm going to tell my team to do it too. Every wipe, you have to take a drink of water.
You gotta.
That'll keep people hydrated.
Hydration is important.
Yep. Keeps your brain ticking. Any other thoughts you have on the raid, Joe?
Another thing, if anyone is trying to do day one, don't. I was talking to my team about this. Day one is a pressure cooker.
Yep.
And you have to be able to, you have to go in with the understanding that everyone's going to get stressed. Some people on the team may freak out a little bit.
Yep.
And that you just need to not let it get to you.
Yep. And if you need to, take a minute to breathe, go to the bathroom, walk around for a little bit. Be ready. It's going to be fun.
Try not to take breaks that are too long, especially once you get later into the night.
Yeah, one thing we've learned.
We've definitely made that mistake
as
before.
we've rated previously. Don't take breaks that are too long because someone will fall asleep. Also, don't if you wipe, don't stop and talk about it for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
because that has killed our runs before.
Unless
all the momentum just goes away.
Yeah, it's tough. Like sometimes stopping and having those discussions is important.
Yeah, but not every wipe.
Yeah, and eventually, especially once you guys have it, and it's just a matter of bashing your head against the wall until it crumbles.
Yep.
You don't need to talk in between runs. Just keep going. You have to keep going.
Exactly.
Because that's the only way you're going to build up any momentum. You just have to push and push and push and push.
Yep. You do.
But at the same time, if you're having trouble with something, talk to the other people in your team. Yeah. Especially if it's something where you feel like you're flagging in a particular way that other people aren't. It's just you got to keep your head on your shoulders. You got to remember to talk to people when you're having trouble.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's tough. I hope everyone who's going for it can get it. Day one is a special thing.
Yeah, and if you're not going for day one, enjoy the streams. You should watch mine for sure. Again, twitch.tv/JanJinkle.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get the stream going for mine as well. And if not me, somebody else on my team will be streaming it. So I will definitely be tweeting out that link.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that,
get going.
We're gonna wrap it up. Joe, since you mentioned your Twitter, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at HowTallItWould, and you can also find me on Twitch, also at HowTallItWould.
Yep. And you can find me, as I said, on Twitch at Jan Jinkle. You can find me on YouTube, also Jan Jinkle. And on Twitter, I'm Matt Ross VO. And then if you want to follow the show on Twitter, we are at Meme Machine Cast. And again, please tell your friends about us. We have fun making this, and if you have fun listening, tell your friends to come have fun with us too, and we'll all have fun together. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, Joe.
Nah, fuck you.
Okay, bye. I love you.